dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with your boys, the Heartbreak Dude, Denton, and Ryan enjoys wrestling. And I got to say, I need to get our theme downloaded so I can bump it in my car because I rap it. We're on mute, but I rap it the whole time. Like, it's just so damn good. I know it's us or whatever. It's for us, but we didn't make it. That shit is just so dope. I would think it was dope if it was on anybody else's podcast. But
yeah, I've got the MP3. I can send it to you.
All right, send it to me. That's MP3. Yeah. Dang, that's all. I haven't heard of that. Like saying, I guess they're still called that, right? But I haven't heard like MP3. Like, yeah. But so funny.
I don't have an MP3 player, but I guess I do.
You don't have the disc. You're gonna put it. Will you send me a disc, please? Mail
send
it
you
to
an
me.
8-track or a cassette.
Yeah. An 8-track. Everybody now just tuned out. They're like, what the?
Oh yeah, they're done.
We're out of here. We're out of here. But welcome to our WWE edition. We are back, baby. We took a week off, but we had to come back for WrestleMania. We already did our predictions for Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. So check that out if you haven't. And also remember, we are doing a watch along this weekend for all 3 big shows. So we will be here 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Western time for NXT Stand and Deliver, and 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Western time for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2, Saturday and Sunday. We were there last year live. Now we're going to do them broadcasting live. And hopefully what goes into some, we got AEW coming up. We have other events coming up. You never know what's going to happen with the two dudes. We'll meet up again. But let's get this jam-packed week going. It was a jam-packed week in WWE and AEW. Do we have news that you want to bring up before we jump in? They're trying to throw you on the spot, but I never want to jump out without saying some news.
It's been a crazy week this week with WWE. CM Punk was on the MMA Hour, which we broke down. He talked about his exit from AEW. He talked about WrestleMania. He talked about The Rock coming back. He talked about Seth Rollins. So it's a good interview. Everyone should go check it out. And then all week long, man, people have been the WWE wrestlers have been making their rounds on the various media platforms. The Rock and Roman Reigns were on Jimmy Fallon. They just did an A&E biography on Roman Reigns. The Bray Wyatt documentary is out too. Everyone should go check that one out too. If you want to cry and be emotional.
Have you seen it? I haven't seen it, but I heard it's like good. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. It's well done. Narrated by The Undertaker. And it's, if you want a good cry, that's one to watch. I mean, not a good cry like tonight.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then I think the biggest thing today is The Rock came out this morning, Friday, April 5th, 2024, and acknowledged. He admitted that on the Will Kane show. I'm not going to get into the political stuff, but he did admit that what we've been saying, that this whole thing with Cody Rhodes was not a pivot, that he had this plan from the very beginning. He said he called Nick Khan in January, and he was like, I have this really cool idea to get me, Cody, and Roman involved. And he was like, it comes with one twist. I'm going to be and Nick Khan was like, oh, what's that? He was like, I'm going to be the best bad guy to ever do it, or something along those lines. So,
of
course, people don't believe The Rock. People don't believe, the fans are out there. Oh, he's just trying to save face. He's trying to stay in character. Triple H has been making his rounds on media places, and he said that there's been a lot of pivots and there's been a lot of twists and turns on the road to WrestleMania. And I think there's some truth to that as well. Like CM Punk getting hurt wasn't part of their plan, so they had to add Seth Rollins in, and then Drew McIntyre originally wasn't in the world title picture but CM Punk got hurt, so they had to add him to the world title picture. So, and then Cody Rhodes, of course, is saying that he's riding with the wave of the Cody movement. So depends on who you want to believe, but I believe The Rock. I think that because we've been saying it, this just doesn't add up. Some of the stuff that's gone on has not added up, and it feels like this was the plan from the very beginning.
I've said it since day one. I don't think they pivot that much, and I don't think they were ever going to go with Rock. Like I said, we'll see if Cody wins or not, or this and that. Maybe we'll have him more, but I believe The Rock. There's no point for him to lie. He doesn't need to stay face. What is he afraid of or care?
Yeah.
He has no word. This is all a scripted show. People take it too real. I do want to say though, because we're doing this on a Friday before we jump into this, that we have SmackDown tonight, and it's a big SmackDown, and it's a Hall of Fame. And I have to say, I wanted to make a post about it on TikTok, and I never did. But this is, in my opinion, and this is not a shot at anybody, respect to anybody who made, but this is the most underwhelming Hall of Fame class I think ever. Am I wrong in that? I mean, I know they just added The Rock's mom, but we got Paul Heyman and then nobody else. Now, was this because I don't even want to watch it tonight. Like I will, just because I want to see Paul go in, but
Yeah.
we couldn't get another big name. There was Demolition couldn't get up there. I mean, we have so many that wouldn't have overshadowed Paul Heyman. I don't understand. We couldn't get RVD for funsies. I know he's in other organizations, but we couldn't just throw him on there with Paul or anybody. We just I don't know. I'm not trying to say disappoint, because that's wrong. And these people all deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. You're inducted. I'll never get inducted. I'm just saying that it's like, you look at years past, there's always at least a couple big names. And this is an attraction, right? So it can't just be, let's just put people. No, you need some people to want eyeballs on the product.
Yeah. So here's the inductees. It's Paul Heyman, Bull Nakano, one-time WWF Women's Champion. She was
big, yeah.
Yeah, she won multiple championships in Japan, Mexico, and the U.S. Thunderbolt Patterson. He wrestled in the 60s through the 80s, was in the NWA. And then Rhea Maivia, the U.S. Express, which is Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda.
Yeah.
And then Muhammad Ali. So, it is a little underwhelming of a Hall of Fame. I do think they should have had or tried to get one more big name in there, maybe like a Batista or like you said, a Demolition or something along those lines, especially or somebody more ECW related.
That's what I'm saying.
With it being in Philadelphia, Paul Heyman
Tommy Dreamer.
You couldn't have inducted him. I don't know if Bully or the Dudley Boys in the Hall of Fame.
They are.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many people to choose from. And, and the sad part too is a lot of these people aren't here. And so, we're going to, it's like Muhammad Ali. I would love to hear Muhammad Ali give a speech, but he's not there. He passed away, sadly. And, Thunderbolt Patterson, I don't think, he's still alive.
Oh, but is he going to give a speech? Yeah.
He's 82. So I don't know if he'll, I don't know if he'll be there. Yeah. Rhea Maivia was she's passed away. So she passed away at the age of 77 in 2008. So she won't be there. She's going to be inducted by The Rock. Is Bull Nakano still here? Yes, Bull Nakano's still here. But, it's just, it is pretty underwhelming of a class. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. And last thing, because I know we got to get this going, but Roman inducting Paul. Hate it, like it, get it. This is Roman's goodbye. I'm telling you. I know we talked about it on the predictions. Why? Because Punk should have done it. I think he's more deserving than Roman. Stone Cold, if you know the history, is more deserving. And they're both going to be at Mania. You picked Roman.
Yeah.
Was that Paul's choice? Is that Triple H's choice?
I'm sure Paul's initial choice was Brock Lesnar. And then with Brock not being there this year for whatever the reasons are for him being named in that Vince McMahon case, I'm sure he was then, okay, well, CM Punk. And then CM Punk was hurt and he may not even be at Mania. This is just what I'm thinking. I don't know if Roman was the third choice or maybe he was the choice from the very beginning. That A&E documentary made it look like him and Paul have been close for years.
Before.
Yeah, since like the beginning of his career and everything. So maybe there's more to it. But yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it so much. I think Paul Heyman helped remake Roman Reigns. I don't think the tribal chief, that character and that gimmick would have worked without Paul Heyman being the wise man.
Nope.
I think it changed his career for the better. And
Mhm.
I don't know if this is Roman's goodbye though. Like I keep, because there's rumors now that he's gonna he's gonna be at SummerSlam, and
Mhm.
he might be at Crown Jewel later this year in Saudi Arabia, and then so who knows? Who knows? But I don't
Well,
mind. I don't mind. I'm
yeah.
excited to hear what Roman has to say inducting Paul into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. When I'm saying his goodbye, and I've done on TikTok, like appreciate him before he's
Oh
gone,
yeah,
is what I mean is his title reign, not him in general. Like Roman will be around for, I think he'll be a spectacle like Brock was, and he'll come and wrestle twice, 3 times a year and just, you know, and I can hear all the jokes. That's what he does now. But no, like he'll just come a
Yeah.
couple times and be an attraction and leave. I just mean this is the end of his title reign. It's kind of the end of like that's. I mean, it's so long. It's been almost 4 years. This dude's just been.
I
That's a
know.
big deal. So like, it is a different Roman Reigns. It is an end of an era. But
And also with Roman inducting him, it makes me wonder, because Triple H likes to do this. He did this last year. Will something happen at this year's Hall of Fame? Will there be
Mm.
will Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins show up with belts and whip Roman, or will something occur just like last year with Rhea and Dom? They walked out while Rey Mysterio was giving his Hall of Fame speech. So maybe they could do something. I mean, because Triple H likes doing this stuff. He likes adding those little, sprinkling all that little storyline stuff into real life.
Are any of them announced for tonight? Because they're all going to be there at SmackDown Hall of Fame. So are they announced? I saw the card and it looks like a lot of good matches, but I know Jay and Solo are, but we haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't announced that. They have to talk before. They have to go tonight, right? We have to have Cody, Seth,
We know they'll
Roman,
be there because they're gonna.
Rock.
We know Roman will be there because he's inducting.
They'll
Paul,
all be
so,
there. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, what else are they doing? They're not like in Philly, like hanging out at the cheesecake, like cheesesteaks, like
No, they're
cheesecake.
watching
I'm from
hanging out
California,
with Pat
bro.
McAfee.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. You ready?
Yeah.
Smackdown review seems like a decade ago, but here we go. The show opens with Pretty Deadly defeating Randy Orton and Kevin Owens with the help from Logan Paul. After the match, Randy pulls Logan out from under the ring in a pretty funny spot, but Logan runs away and steals a car, which I think was a Corvette. I forget, it was so long ago. Backstage, Bayley jumps Io Sky and they brawl. Out comes Jade Cargill for her promo as an official member of SmackDown. She's a legit star, y'all. Remember this. AJ Styles makes sure LA Knight isn't here tonight. Theory and Waller defeat the Street Profits and move on to WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer says they will not be there, so look forward to seeing somebody replace them tomorrow. Let's go here. After the match, LA Knight isn't here. Okay, Theory there. After the match, Final Testament beat down the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. Legado del Fantasma cut a promo to thank Dirty Dom for his contributions. The LWO come out and Rey announces that Dragon Lee is the newest member, and it will be him and Lee versus Escobar and Dom at Mania. Take that, Carlito. Naomi has Bianca's back tonight. New Catch Republic defeat Legado to move on to WrestleMania. AJ Styles cuts a promo and is attacked by LA Knight, who was dressed as a security guard. In the main event, Bianca Belair defeats Dakota Kai, and after the match, Damage Control jumps her, and Naomi makes the save only to get beat up, to which Jade Cargill makes the save, and we have another match for Mania to close the show, and that's the SmackDown review.
Yeah.
So much has happened since then.
Yeah,
Like,
so much.
LA Knight and AJ brawled at the
At WWE
Can we talk
World.
about how pissed off I am about that? We had nothing last
I
year.
know.
You flew all the way down here. We did all the events, everything. We didn't have shit. We had a
No.
big superstore to buy 2 shirts. They're getting everything at this damn
They're
Philadelphia
getting meet and
WrestleMania.
greets. They're meet and greets with Dirty Dom, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Cody
Pat
Rhodes.
McAfee, people doing shows
Yeah.
and in front of everybody. Like, what the? Anyway. All right.
And like that WWE World that they're showing looks
Mhm.
like an experience. Like it looks like you're
Yeah.
going in there and you're gonna come out like 2 hours later and you're gonna be like, holy crap. Like we went to it and I was like, that's it. That's all they gave us.
It was whack. Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero's lowrider and the Undertaker's jacket. That was all we got.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so great.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. But anyway, let's talk about SmackDown. Let's not be bitter.
No. So yeah, a lot has happened in this episode, but the one thing I took away was it was a minor thing, but I loved it. Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso cut a backstage promo, and they said that everything ended with by orders of the tribal chief. And
I left that out. Good job.
I liked that they did that because they were talking about Paul Heyman was talking about the beatdown that the final boss, The Rock, gave to Cody Rhodes that earlier that week on Monday Night Raw, where he was ramming him into the bus and making him bleed and spreading the blood onto the weight belt and everything. And we've been saying this whole time, this is all overshadowing Roman Reigns. This is making Roman play second fiddle to The Rock. But those little words, by orders of the tribal chief, it made it look like the tribal chief ordered The Rock to do that. He ordered Jimmy Uso to take out Jey Uso. He ordered Solo Sikoa to take Jey out next week on SmackDown to teach him a lesson this week tonight. So I like that. I like that little nugget, because then I was like, okay, well, now it is Roman calling the shots, and it gave Roman some of his aura back that he's been kind of missing over the last few weeks. So that was something that I really, really dug about this episode. Just something so simple.
I don't know why I left that out. Well, I mean, we don't really have to talk much about this episode because, so much time has passed, and it was a decent episode. It did well, especially without the big hitters on it. But I did like that moment, and I did like that they made sure that the tribal chief Roman is still in charge, and they emphasize that a little bit more when we go into Raw. But I did like that. One other thing I really liked was Pretty Deadly getting a win. I think Pretty Deadly is fantastic. I think they're super underrated right now as a team. They deserve more credit than what they're getting. They're great wrestlers. Their gimmick is hilarious. And I like seeing them, even though they got the win by, Logan Paul helping. A win is a win is a win. I love this. And just the opening of SmackDown was just fun. Randy and Kevin, and then Randy chasing Logan Paul all the way over there, and Logan Paul still in a Corvette and bouncing out, and then Kevin Owens like waddling over like right after, like he like was way behind. It was all just good stuff, good funny stuff. So I like the opening of SmackDown, and I like that we got a break from Cody, Seth, Roman, and The Rock. This was like a non-them episode, so that's what I like.
Those episodes with them on it took up the entire chunk of the so a lot of people were left off, and this was a good episode to kind of make sure the undercard of WrestleMania got some love and attention.
I agree. All right, you want to talk anything else? You ready to go to Raw?
I feel like we got to talk.
Yeah, you want to talk Jade? Yeah,
and her changing of the outfits. Like, she had one outfit on when she was cutting her promo and looked fire, and then looked even better when she came out in the at the end. But yeah, she's a star. She's going to be a star. I'm not sure how I feel about her on the microphone just yet, and I'm not sure how I feel about them using this storm gimmick. Like, I don't know.
You notice that? Nice. All right.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, she even said in her promo, like, the forecast for next week says this, and like, as this, there's a storm coming, or I can't remember what she said, or the storm is here. Okay, like, but she's a star. I think she needs a mouthpiece though. But let's just see how
maybe she will. Maybe she will. Yeah. Maybe she could be a Paul Heyman girl. But no, I liked it too. And I'm not usually into chicks that are way buffer than me, but she just got it going on. She's like a perfect specimen of a woman. I love me some Jade Cargill, but not just that. Her just aura. I say this a lot about the aura of a person. Like, Roman has it, Rock has it. Like, when you see them, you're in awe. And that's Jade Cargill, man. She makes Bianca Belair look small. And Bianca Belair is a strong, buff woman, and she looks tiny compared to Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is just that girl. She is good in the ring. Don't let people say she isn't just because she doesn't have 5-star Kenny Omega type matches. She is good. She is good. She'll do her damn thing, and I am excited to see her. And I like this pairing. I like these three girls. I do. I think it's good for all three of them. I want to see them. Damage Control is going to be done. Let's start up a new female faction. Let's have these two girls dominate, but let's have them dominate as heels. I want them all to turn still, or maybe Jade will turn eventually on them. But either way, we need, or not Jade, but Bianca. Bianca needs. Maybe you did say that. I want to see Bianca. I've been wanting Bianca to turn. She's stale now. It is what it is. So let's see what happens. Let's get into some Monday Night Raw, because ooh baby, I like it raw. You ready? All right. Rest in peace, ODB. All right. Yeah. The show opens with The Rock cutting a promo about the beating he gave Cody Rhodes. Out comes the Bloodline for a Roman promo. Seth interrupts from the crowd with a dude recording him about 1 inch away from his face and wants to fight either The Rock or Roman. But you know what? He gets Solo Sikoa instead. The ladder match of Mania will not end till both titles are grabbed, which means the belts are now split, I guess. Again, the JD defeat. Oh, That's suspend again, and the Judgment Day defeat DIY. Roman Reigns will induct Paul Heyman into the Hall of Fame, so he needs to go write his script. Chad Gable trains Sami Zayn like they were in a Rocky movie. The Judgment Day are mad at Dirty Dom for allowing Legado into the locker room. Sami Zayn and Bronson Reed end in a DQ when Gunther drags Chad Gable out into the ramp and then destroys Sami Zayn. It was pretty insane to watch. Lil Wayne will be at WrestleMania, believe it or not. I don't know why. I didn't know he was from Philly, but whatever. I'm down with a
Drew
Millie.
Barrymore will be there too.
Hey, I like both of them, so I'm good with it. Dupree and Niall defeat Candice LeRae and Hartwell. Drew cuts a promo in a funeral home, and he will close the casket on Seth Rollins' title reign at WrestleMania, baby. Ricochet defeats Ivar. Damian Priest is super pissed off for some reason. And Dom says if Andrade deals with Ricochet, then he gets a spot in the Judgment Day, and literally nobody is happy about that. Becky Lynch calls out Rhea Ripley, who comes out and they brawl for about 10 seconds. Damage Control defeats Baszler, Starks, and Knox. And in the main event, Seth and Solo doesn't have an ending, I guess. I don't know what the hell happened in this match, but we close the show with The Rock literally, and I don't use this word unless it's literal, destroying Seth and Cody by whipping them like they owe him some money. The whippings were so damn bad that I literally looked away half the time because it was like brutal to watch. Roman helps out, and that's how we end Monday Night Raw.
And
I wrote too small. Sorry, I could barely read it. My eyes.
Those whippings continued after the show went off the air too.
Yep.
So, and The Rock, even last week on Raw, when the show stopped rolling, he was still beating down Cody Rhodes. He doesn't care. He plays by his own set of rules.
I love it. Well, let's talk about the beatdown. So let's talk about the close. I mean, Solo didn't lose at least, but I don't know what the hell they're doing with him.
Still hasn't won.
The crowd gave two shits. Why would you announce that you want Roman or The Rock to get the crowd excited to then have them say, just kidding, you're going to wrestle Solo? Like, way to put Solo Sikoa in a shitty situation. Like, the crowd was like,
yeah,
what?
I feel like they should have put Jimmy Uso in that spot. Hey, he's the one that has the match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's the one that, has a high profile match at WrestleMania, and he's got something to prove. And I think the fans would have appreciated that a little bit more. Have Solo in his corner, but I think they should have put Jimmy Uso in that spot against Seth Rollins.
Is Solo at least in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal? I forgot who's in that. I guess that's tonight.
Omos
again. Yeah, we'll see who
Omos
wins
is
that.
in it.
Oh, he's back, baby.
Yeah.
Omos, get that win, dude. Because the Andre the Giant Battle Royal winners are always huge successes. Bobby Lashley's been praising about it since last year when he won. All right, so what'd you think? What'd you think about the beatdown? Too much? Too perfect? Are Cody and Seth just getting destroyed nonstop? You're over here saying Roman's going to win. So how can Roman win and you're okay with all the beatdowns that Cody and Seth are getting? Because they've looked weak as fudge.
That's the reason. They look weak. They look stupid. They look dumb. Even Seth in the ring, when he was smiling like, oh, we got you. We have a plan. And out comes Jey Uso, and he gets taken out immediately. And then, here comes Cody Rhodes, the adrenaline in my soul. He comes running out, and he gets taken out easily, and they just get whipped. And it's just like week after week after week, these guys have looked like complete and utter idiots. And it's sad to see. And to me, I know it's scripted and I know it's a TV show, but that's the guy that we're going to have carrying the company for the next. That's why I don't think Roman's losing, man. Like, I just feel like there's, like you said, there's levels to this. And I don't think, I think Roman's on a level of his own. And I think Roman's up here. Cody and Seth are like right here, slightly below him, but they're still not quite on his level. And I think the booking and the promos and the stories and the things that they have told have kind of exposed, at least Cody have exposed him a little bit. I
agree, yeah.
And that's why, but I love the beatdowns. I didn't think I was going to like The Rock as the final boss. I was like, at first I thought he was bringing back Hollywood Rock, but he completely ditched that. And now he's back to the final boss. But man, I think we all, not us, you and me, but we as the wrestling collective, we owe that man an apology because he took some heat when he came back on that episode after the Rumble to so Cody could step aside for The Rock and interject himself into the main event, which was never announced, by the way. But, he stepped aside for The Rock. And The Rock took so much heat from everybody, and I think now all of a sudden those same people are like, "Oh my God, The Rock is the greatest! This is so fantastic! This build for WrestleMania has been great." You all owe The Rock a huge apology because he has been nothing but spectacular in this whole entire run. And I didn't think he makes a good heel, but man, he's made me hate him as a heel, and I think that's what you want.
That's what happens when you're a real actor. Here's the thing, right? Is that, like I said in my predictions, The Rock and Rome, and especially The Rock, have just been putting it to Cody and Seth so damn hard and beating them up so damn bad that it has to be what I think it is. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm just saying, to have Cody overcome it all, they're going to get their ass beat night one as well, and then go in. And I think The Rock's going to pin Cody, and I think he might even do it with a foot on him. I think it's going to be an embarrassing loss again, and it's all going to build to Cody finding a way to one up and beat Roman, because then he's the star. He overcame everything, and I'm telling you that Cody's going to have his moment. It's all going to be great. He's going to leave. The crowd's going to be, and Roman's going to slowly try to get up, and the crowd's going to cheer for him and thank him. And then all of a sudden, The Rock is going to like help him or whatever, and rock bottom, and he's going to lay him down, and you're going to hear him saying, I did all this. I set him up and gave him to you on a platter, and you lost this and that. And he's going to put it to him and turn. We're not getting Rock Roman at 4. We're getting Rock Cody, the final boss. I'm telling you, and The Rock's going to take over for the bloodline, and Roman's going to go on a little hiatus and end his time in the WWE before he retires as a babyface, which he deserves, because he never had a real babyface run because everybody hated him. So now they'll love him. He'll turn, and maybe we still will. Maybe we'll get Rock and Cody at SummerSlam. You know what I mean? And then Rock and Roman at 41, and Roman beats him and ends off. But either way, I think Roman loses and we get Rock turning, because I think The Rock's going to be like, I literally put in all the damn work, beat the living crap. He wasn't even on my level, and then you wrestle and lose? That's a joke. That's what I think is going to happen. I think this was that setup, man. I just think it is. I think The Rock is like, you told me what to do. You gave me the orders, and you couldn't even finish the damn job. I think that's what I'm thinking, just because how it's there's a billion.
Because I still think there's the Seth Rollins wrinkle. There's the Jey Uso nugget too, where him in that promo that he cut with Jimmy, he was like, I miss you, man. I want to come home. I want the family back. And what if he goes back to the bloodline? What's the best way to go back to the bloodline? Turning on Cody Rhodes. So yeah, I mean, there's so many different avenues this thing can go. And that's I don't want Seth to turn, because I'm over Seth. Like, just have him be in the match, let him have his WrestleMania moment, let him lose to Drew, and then go take his back break. Does Damian Priest cash in? I feel like, because Rhea Ripley was on Pat McAfee today, and she said, why does everyone think Priest is going to cash in on Seth or Drew? And then everyone was like, oh, he could cash in on Cody or Roman. Oh,
you know who she meant?
Yeah,
Gunther. He is cashing in. I told you, if he's going to cash in, it's on Gunther. I'm telling you.
I would love to see him cash in on Cody, though, and take the belt. As soon as Cody wins the belt, he gets it taken from him, just like Dusty.
I mean, that's the best. Yeah. And that's the best way to make Damian Priest a superstar, because everybody will hate him that he took away finally finishing the story. Because finishing the story, in my opinion, is stupid. I think it's one of the worst storylines ever. I don't think it makes any sense, and I'm over it. It makes it stupid.
The thing I don't like about it, and I don't want to rant about this too much longer, but the thing I don't like about it is it like, the bloodline was a story before Cody came in. Cody was even in the WWE. Cody left and went to AEW, and the bloodline formed, and they were the best story going for years. And then all of a sudden, everyone's mad at The Rock because, you're keeping Cody from finishing the story. You're keeping Cody from finishing the story. But yet Cody's the one he won the Rumble, but he's kind of interfering in the bloodline story as well. Right? Not giving it a proper close. So
I agree.
That's my big gripe with it.
All right. Well, let's talk. What's going on with Dirty Dom? Is he at a Judgment Day? Is Judgment Day completely breaking up? What the hell's happening? Like, why did all of a sudden they all hate Dirty Dom? Like, and Dirty Dom kind of seemed like not to care. Am I wrong on that? Because he was like, he went to Rhea and told him, have Damian stop being so mean to me, which was kind of funny. Like a little brother, funny. Right? Like, Mom, like, he's being mean to me. But even Mommy was like disappointed, and he was still like, "Oh, it's okay. Like, come on, Andrade, and everyone hang out." Or like, what's happening?
Yeah. I don't know. And then they were all in the clubhouse, like because of all of it was.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
really like. We've said this before, but if they end the Judgment Day, okay, that's fine. I don't think they should. I think they should continue on, especially if Damian Priest does cash in Money in the Bank and win successfully. I think him
Mhm.
having the backing of the Judgment Day would only help solidify not just him, but them as a group with Rhea and Damian on top running the show. But I do think they need to keep Rhea and Dom together because they are
I agree.
fantastic. They are fantastic. But I don't understand what's going on. I feel like this match with Dom and Santos is completely random. They've had
Mhm.
no interaction with each other up until now, and now all of a
Nope.
sudden they're besties, and it's just really kind of odd. It feels like it's a way to get Dom on the WrestleMania card, which I
Mhm.
agree with. He definitely needs to have it, but it felt like this should have happened maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago instead of
Mhm.
2 weeks before WrestleMania. Because then they're like, "Oh crap, we got to figure out a story here." So, but it feels like the
Yeah.
Judgment Day's been teasing a breakup for a long time, and then they never have. So I don't really know what direction they're going in.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. I don't want them to break up. I like them, but I'm also sick of them always pretending. Like you said, it's been like 7 months now since Cody
Yeah,
Rhodes was feuding with them. The other thing I really wanted to bring up, Chad Gable. So, did you see? I don't know if you saw. Like, I liked it. I thought it was very Rocky. I get it. Training him, like like Apollo training Rocky Balboa. I like it. I like it. The guy. But did you see Gunther when he was beating down Sami and he was saying that you think Chad Gable making you do push-ups is gonna be able to defeat me or in some line like that? I'm like, God, Gunther is just so him just chopping him. Like all he does is chop. And
yeah,
it's just so much better than every chop in AEW. It's just so like he is so good at just making it look like that looked just as bad as the whippings that The Rock gave later on. And it was just chops.
yeah,
Just simple as that. Gunther is just a force to be reckoned with, and I love it. I'm all here for Gunther forever.
yeah. I don't know how I
Uh-oh.
feel about the Rocky thing because I love Gunther. I love Sammy.
Mhm,
I'm Sami Zayn's younger brother, but
mhm.
like I feel like we're getting the underdog story already with Cody Rhodes, and now they're giving
We
us
are.
another underdog story with Sami Zayn. Like I don't know. It just feels like the same. We criticize AEW for doing this all the time. They had Wardlow trying to win a belt to give it to Adam Cole, which just 2 weeks after
Mhm,
Luchasaurus won a belt to hand it over to Christian Cage. Same
mhm.
exact thing. We criticize AEW. I feel like WWE, they're kind of doing the same story here, and that's that. I kind of had a feeling that's where they were going when
Yeah,
when Chad Gable said that he didn't think Sammy could beat Gunther, and then now he's training with him. He joined the Alpha Academy. So I'll see where it goes, but I'm not a fan. The Rocky montage was cool, but Sami Zayn main evented WrestleMania last year. Like he almost beat Roman
yeah,
Reigns. He was probably the wrestler of the year for most people in 2023 and 2022, and yet
for sure.
he needs motivation from Chad Gable. Like Chad Gable, I know he technically beat Gunther, but he hasn't pinned Gunther. So
Mhm.
I don't know. It just felt a little weird.
Yeah, well, to end it, my thing has always been those who can't do teach, right? And so
Sure.
that's what the Chad Gable thing is. He's a good teacher, a good coach. And the whole thing with Sami Zayn is that he has lost his way since then. And I think that's what they're doing
Yeah.
is that it's not Chad Gable teaching him how to be better. It's teaching him how to get out of his
To
funk.
find himself.
And
Yeah.
that's, to find himself. But yeah, I do agree. That's why I think it's either going to be a priest cash in or I don't know. But like I went with Sammy just because the fact that Gunther you can't get beat down and then lose.
Sure.
It's just not
Yeah.
how life works in wrestling. That's not good storytelling. Anything else you want to do before we jump into NXT? Are you good? I mean, it
No,
was
I
pretty
think
much.
yeah, I mean it's been a solid build to WrestleMania for the entire way ever since the Rumble ended. So
I
kudos
agree.
to WWE for this. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I can't believe WrestleMania is already here.
I agree. And I'm looking forward to SmackDown tonight. And this week in WWE was marvelous. I think SmackDown's going to be great. And I'm like stoked for WrestleMania night one
Oh,
and
me
night two.
too.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just don't. And Triple H said he's hoping that people are like crying and happy and excited. And I'm telling you, man, Triple H, this is him. Last year he had it, but he didn't. This is him. So,
This is
and his
all him.
team.
Yeah.
It's not, him and everybody else. All right. So with that said, let's get into some NXT because we do got Stand and Deliver. And I thought this was actually a pretty solid build to Stand and Deliver, but we'll talk about that and how we feel about Stand and Deliver. But you ready? Let's get into some NXT fun. The show opens with Axiom and Frazier moving to the finals to face the Wolf Dogs for the titles. Dragunov has a boot on his car and I guess was going home 10 minutes into the show. I guess so. He gets a ride to meet with Tony D. JC Jane defeats Henley. After the match, Jane says she was never friends with Thea Hale, and we get a 6-women tag at Stand and Deliver. Lexis King defeats Von Wagner. Ava, dressed like she belongs in Carmelo's crew, says his match with Trix will have relaxed rules. Whatever the fudge that means.
Okay.
Roxanne says Natalia is dumb. Lola Vice gets a win and stares down Natalia while doing so, while in the sharpshooter, I might add. Dragunov arrives to the warehouse where people are sawing things to meet Tony D. Supernova Sessions talk show as Roxanne and Valkyria, and ends with Valkyria laying out Roxanne Perez. Obafemi beats Joe Gacy. Valkyria will do anything to keep her title. Anything. Ariana Grace defeats Sinclair. Back to Tony D and Dragunov, and they argue. Tony D hurts his hand or grabs his hurt hand and tells him to enjoy his last supper, which I was bummed we never found out what was in that. I was excited to see if it was like a head or like a steak dinner. We didn't get anything. Sol Ruka, probably being the finest woman in wrestling right now, defeats Blair Davenport in the main event. We get Joe Gacy versus Sean Spears at Stand and Deliver pre-show. And we close the show with Trick and Carmella cutting a promo about how great they were as a team, how much they miss each other, and why Trick stole his girlfriend. They brawl it, and it ends with the entire locker room coming out to brawl as well. And that's the NXT recap. And I brought it closer to me this time because my eyes can't see. I can't read without my glasses.
It was a solid episode of NXT.
I liked it.
I thought it was a good, perfect build to Stand and Deliver. But, we talked about this when we did our predictions. I feel like the card for Stand and Deliver is very, very underwhelming. You have the matches I'm most excited about are Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, Dragunov versus Tony D, and Roxanne Perez versus Valkyria. All the other ones are just, that's it, really. Like, the rest of them are just filler matches. And I feel like the card last year, and maybe I'm a little biased because we were at that event, was 10 times better. You had a ladder match for the NXT Women's Championship. You had Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. You had Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. Yeah, there were so many fun, entertaining matches in that card. But this one, I don't know. This card just feels really underwhelming. For the biggest show of the year. It feels like a good pay-per-view card, don't get me wrong, but for the biggest show of the year, I feel like it should have been a little bit bigger.
I agree. I mean, War Dogs, the Wolf Dogs are against, Axiom and Frazier or whatever. Was Ava not dressed? Why did she not notice that she shouldn't have dressed just like Carmella? They were all in black with leather jackets. She walked in black with a black leather jacket. I was like, wait, what's going on? I thought she was turning.
Yeah.
But what's relaxed rules? Does that mean you like the refs shit, like in basketball where they let it play, like when I coach AYSO soccer, which you're now coaching, they will tell you beforehand, hey, we're gonna let the girls bump a little bit, not call. Is that what relaxed rules mean?
I guess, hey,
if you hit me with a chair, maybe we'll ignore it.
Like if you have 3 seconds to release a hold or 5 seconds to release a hold, they're not gonna disqualify you if you don't, I guess, or
counting slower.
Yeah. Sometimes they call traveling, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they call 3 seconds, sometimes they don't. I think it's gonna be like that. Can we just call these matches for what they are? Like bloodline rules. Can we just call it anything goes, no holds barred?
Yeah.
Do we have to have bloodline rules? Relaxed rules. Can we just call it no disqualification? Can we just call it
spade spade, right? Yeah.
Like the Philadelphia street fight. Can we just call it a street fight? Why do we have to get creative with it? A Miracle on 34th street fight. We don't need that on Christmas time every year. Let's just call these matches what they are.
I like those matches.
I do too.
I get it. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. And Ava, she's trying harder. I didn't like her looking at her briefcase folder I'm doing fantastic, aren't I? That was a little weird, but she's at least trying. Her charisma is just, gosh, man, watching The Rock at it. But let's talk about this Hayes and Trick. I liked this promo. I liked that they sucked each other's, things for a little bit and kiss each other's butts. And then I like him comparing his belt to his girlfriend. Like, I lost my world championship. You lost your North American championship. You said you wanted your North American championship back. You lied to me. You basically then wanted the world championship. That was like going after my ex-girlfriend. You wanted to take my girlfriend for me. And he made Trick Williams look like the heel. And I loved it. I actually just made a TikTok about it. I thought it was a great promo. I liked it all.
Right,
I am so stoked. He was 100% everything he said. You're like, oh, that's very Drew McIntyre-ish. Where like, obviously, but this is, I mean, if you don't count Bloodline, Rock, Roman, Seth, Cody, this is probably the best storyline right now in wrestling, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Trick and Carmelo. And that crowd, Carmelo, I put out a top 5 heels and put Carmelo at my number 5, and I got a lot of flack for that, saying he didn't deserve to be on there. That dude was getting Dominic Mysterio boos in that NXT arena again.
He's been getting them since he turned. Remember when he turned at NXT Deadline?
Yeah, on the chair.
And then the week after, on that Tuesday after, they had to the USA had to tell the crowd to stop, or they're gonna have to take the show off the air because they were dropping like F-bombs. Like, they're he's been getting massive heel heat, and it's been fantastic. And I like the to me, that's been the best built match of outside of the Bloodline and everything WrestleMania wise. To me, that's been the best built match going into either WrestleMania or Stand and Deliver. It's been fantastic.
I agree. Anything else you want to talk about this Tony D and Dragunov thing? Do you like, so people crap on the Attitude Era and before, like the Golden Era, because people had jobs, right? It was like, you were a dentist or a garbage man or a repo man, or then you were like an Undertaker or Kane, a murderous, blah, 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 and this and that. They're going full force with Tony D as like hey, I'm a mobster, forget about it, right? Like they went in a warehouse.
We already have one of those in Roman Reigns.
Yeah, we do, right? But I actually don't hate it. I kind of like the Tony D thing. I don't think it helped him much per se, but I'm assuming he's going to have his goons around the ring when they wrestle and stuff, and Dragunov will overcome it. But I didn't hate it. I didn't like the whole grabbing his hand and Dragunov was like acting like it was like a bullet hole that he was like sticking his finger into. But I mean, it is what it is. But I thought it was fun, I guess. I'm not looking forward to this match so much so, because I think Tony D is going to lose. But yeah.
I mean, this makes me think that there's going to be a big surprise or something, that somebody's going to come back or interfere or debut in NXT and go right at Tony D is going to lose after the match. Dragunov is celebrating, and somebody, I don't know who, but somebody's going to either return or come down from the main roster and start the next feud for the NXT championship. So I feel like that this match has that potential to be huge in that regard.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we're ready for Stand and Deliver, my man. We're ready for it all. Don't forget, after that great week review we gave you, that we are having 3 watch-alongs. We will do a live watch-along for NXT Stand and Deliver, a live watch-along for WrestleMania Night 1, and for WrestleMania Night 2. Bring your drinks, bring your food, bring a good time, bring your comments. We talk to everybody. We have a great time. I'm going to love it. I am so damn excited for this weekend, like so damn excited. I am so pumped. As always, if you like to hear me talk, you want to catch me, HBD Denton, every social media outlet. Thank you for everything you guys do, liking us, subscribing, watching. We appreciate it. I'm the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and with me as always,
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go follow all of our socials. We have hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube now, so keep subscribing there. That doesn't mean we got to stop subscribing. Just keep it going, and go follow us on and listen to us on Apple, Spotify. Leave us 5-star ratings and reviews there. Go hit up our TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes. If you're on X, if that's your thing, go find us on there at 2 Dudes PC. And like I said, man, 2024 is going to be our year. It's going to be the year of the dudes, and WrestleMania is just the start, and we're gonna keep on keeping on and keep on growing as the year goes on. So appreciate everyone's love and support.
I agree. 2 Dudes Attitudes Wolfpack. We out.
Let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The 2 dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.